Welcome to Necessary Conversations. I'm your host, Saleem Messiah. I got Eliza Mullen on the show. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. You know, we about to get out of here, go home for the summer. Got any big plans for the summer?
Um, I'm just working. I'm going on a trip next week, and then I'll just be working the rest of the summer. I'm going to Austria to visit my brother.
Yeah, how long you staying out there?
Just for like a week, just like the 11th to the 19th.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ever been out there before?
I've never left the country.
So this is going to be like a real big monumental moment for you, huh?
It is. It's gonna be a big step.
You excited?
I'm so excited.
You know what you're going to do?
I think we're gonna go there for a few days, then hopefully go to Budapest for a couple days.
Budapest. I heard a lot about that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do there?
I don't know. I have
Uh-huh.
no idea. Probably just sightsee. I don't know. I don't know what's there. It's in Hungary.
Now, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not, when it comes to weather, I'm not too familiar. Is it hot or cold? Do you know?
I think it's like it's pretty similar to what it's like here right now.
Yeah.
I think maybe a little bit warmer, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the hot.
No?
Nah, you
No,
like the
I
hot or
don't.
you like the cold? You grew up in Mass, right?
Yeah, but I like the hot weather. Definitely.
Like the hot over the cold?
Mm-hmm.
You're in Massachusetts. How could you?
I know, but I don't know. It's just I've always liked the hot weather.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah, I like the.
You like the cold?
Yeah.
You like to be cold?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't say I like to be cold. Like, like, since we came to school in August, I have not turned off my air conditioning still.
I
Even
like
winter.
sleeping in the cold. That's different. Like I love
Nah, like
I love
cold
it
all day.
when
You
it
know
all
what I'm saying?
day.
Yeah.
No. Well, when I was younger, I used to love the winter just cuz like when I was a kid.
Snow days, miss school.
Hmm?
Snow days, miss school.
That
playing in the
and
snow.
yeah, and I used to be like petrified of thunderstorms. I'm not anymore. And
Why are you petrified of thunderstorms?
I don't know. I just always like loud noises just used to freak me out, and so that's why I used to like the winter because I knew there wasn't going to be any thunderstorms for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
I mean,
I grew out of it though. I
Yeah.
like the hot weather now. I
like,
love it.
You know, my grandmother's from the South, like North Carolina. She was born in 1942. She's very old school. So her thing was, if it thunderstorms, we have to turn off every light in the house. We have to unplug all electronics. Like
Yeah,
sit
that I've
down,
heard of.
like,
Unplugging
you have
everything.
to just sit down. She just said you got to sit down and be still because God's working. So we weren't allowed to like do, but she's died and we just do whatever. So, but yeah, the thunderstorms I was never really scared. If anything, I hated them only because like now I got to turn off my game. I can't watch SpongeBob or
Yeah.
whatever the case. So yeah, it wasn't gonna work for me.
I just cried.
Cry.
Yeah, I hated it. My parents would just tell me, "Oh, it's just God not playing bowling."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they would just say, "Oh, he's just bowling," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "But why does he have to do that right now?"
I mean, you know, Massachusetts. I'm not gonna lie. Since I've been in Massachusetts versus growing up, I mean, I had 18 years in New Jersey versus 2 or 3 in Massachusetts. But in my time in Massachusetts, there hasn't been really one bad thunderstorm I've experienced.
Knock on wood. Don't say that.
Yeah, knock on wood, because New Jersey is 10 times worse when it comes to thunderstorms.
Really?
Yeah, and to be honest, I've experienced worse snow in New Jersey than I have in Massachusetts. And I thought it was going to be completely the other way around. So, I don't know. Maybe, you know, I'm a little misled when it comes to weather because down here it's not that bad.
I mean, New England, it's weird. We have like 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Yeah.
up with that. Because, you know, you work right across the hall from the studio, so I'm in here all day. So by the time I'll come out, it's raining, sunny, whatever, and I'll come outside and it's cold or hot or it just confuses me. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
'cause
gotta
you'll
your
get
skin in
up.
check.
Dressing like there's a snowstorm coming, but then you're like dressing like you're going to the beach.
Yeah.
You know, by the time out of work, it's like it's so warm.
Eliza, you're the first girl on here. I mean, no pressure.
No, I handle pressure really well, so
Yeah?
bring it on.
You're on the track and field team.
Mhm.
Being an athlete comes with the pressure.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in track and field? Like, were you just in college? Did you come to high school early on? Like, what was it?
So I started first. I started off doing cross country when I was in was it 7th grade?
Really?
I don't know why. I don't ever remember like the moment where I decided that I wanted to do that. I have no memory of it, but I ended up doing it in the fall, and then I decided that I wanted to run track because in track you sprint, and that's what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then my coach was like, "No, you did cross country, so you're gonna do distance in the spring too." And I'm like. And then after that, I talked my way out of not having to do distance anymore. So then I started doing hurdles and long jump. I wasn't that good at the 100 hurdles. I wasn't that good at hurdles to begin with, but I was the 400 hurdles. I was a little bit better at that than I was everything else.
Why do you think that is? Like, what's the difference between the 100s and 400s? Like being good at one or the other.
Well, saying that I was good is kind of a stretch because I was not that good, but like. The 100, it's just like 100 meters over hurdles. Then 400 hurdles, it's just one lap around.
Okay, yeah. That track like, terminology just confused the 100, 400, 200. All I know is like I wouldn't do it. I'm not. That's not me.
I can't say I blame you.
I don't know. What made you get in the because cross country, like team in middle school, team in high school, where I'm from, like all I seen them do was run. Of course, that's what track is, but like they're running like
for like hours.
Like I get out of school, I go to the local store, like they're running over there. This is like 5.
Yeah.
Like what made you get into the cross country thing?
I don't know. I wish I had a good answer. You would think that I had like a good answer as to why I just kept doing it, but I don't know. It just kept me in shape, for like basketball and for track.
So you're a basketball player.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I was not a natural at basketball, so I definitely had a lot to learn. But I did it I did it 8th grade, 9th grade, my sophomore year, junior year. I didn't do it, and then I did it again my senior year. Yeah. It was a lot. It really was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you use a point guard, shooting guard? What position did you play?
Point guard?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. My basketball terminology is not that great.
You could play, man?
Yeah.
Were you responsible in setting up the plays, passing to your team?
Oh wait, no. So that's not point guard, right? Okay,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
So were you the shooter in the corner? What was your role on the team? What did you do for the most part?
Okay, so when we were on defense, I was always at the top, or the
Where the 3-point line is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was always there. Like that was my position.
Okay.
All the time when we played zone, I would always be in.
Now what about the offense? Are you a good shooter?
I was good at three. I can't speak English. I was good with like the 3-point shots. That was kind of like my thing.
You might have been a shooting guard.
Yeah, maybe I was a shooting guard.
Okay.
But like I didn't take it that seriously. I just,
This might help you better. When they tipped the ball off at the beginning of the game, where did you stand?
I wasn't a starter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Hey, everything isn't for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody.
What made you get into basketball though? If that did you just find something fun to do?
Yeah, I just played it for fun. Like I didn't really start playing it until middle school. I played once when I was maybe like 8 or 9, but then I never played it again until like when I was 14. That's when I started playing. And like I said, I was not a natural, so the coach had to like teach me how to just do everything. But I had a lot of fun. Like it was, yeah.
Track, cross country, which one is do you like better personally?
Track.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like sprinting because I like not having a lot of time to think.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main reasons why I prefer doing that.
What
over
events
distance.
did you do in high school when you switched to track?
I did long jump, I did 400 hurdles and 100 hurdles, and occasionally I would do high jump.
High jump, that's the thing where you gotta jump super high.
Over the pole and onto the mat. I was not good at it. Have you ever seen what they look like when they're running? Yeah, and you just kind of fall over backwards.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I scissor kicked over until I did it for as long as I could until I couldn't
Yeah.
get over a certain height,
Yeah.
and then it didn't work anymore.
Eliza, you're selling yourself short here. You say you're not good at the hurdles. You're not good at the, so what do you like? What's your thing? What's your niche?
So when I came here for school, my freshman year, the coach at the time, he was so sure that I was a distance runner,
Yeah.
even though in high school I did not do I did cross country, but in track I did not do any type of distance events, nothing. But he was just like, no, like I'm telling you, like that's gonna be your thing. Like you're built like a distance runner, blah blah blah, the whole spiel, and I'm just like, no. And so then freshman year, I didn't have any eligibility, so I couldn't compete. But then the following year, I did, and then I did cross country, and then
You did cross country here?
yeah.
Why made you do that again?
We didn't have enough girls. We didn't have a big team for cross country, so that's why I would always end up doing it. And I enjoyed it. Like honest, it was hard, but
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. We have a really good group of girls.
Now
so.
you said you didn't like it, so did you volunteer for it, or did the coach just say, "Yo, can you?" And you just said,
It wasn't really
player?
a can you. It was like more so you're doing cross country.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay,
all right.
yeah. And so I thought, okay, well, if I do cross country, then maybe like I do this favor, then I can talk to him about, letting me switch
Okay,
my
so
events.
you were trying to like
Yeah.
sacrifice to give. Okay, yeah.
It did not work the first time.
No.
So then it wasn't until spring semester, like right when the pandemic started and they canceled the spring sports.
Yeah.
And it's a funny story because my coach, he sent out an email just saying, hey, like to all the distance, because she was just like, hey, so I know like the season's over or whatever, but if you want, you can send me an email saying like whatever event you wanted to do for outdoor, like whatever distance event you wanted to do, just send it to me and I'll give you a list, or I'll give you like a training plan, like just specifically for that event. And then in a few weeks, you can do like a time trial. Let me know what the time is. Or if you want, I can just send you the preseason stuff for cross country.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so instead of emailing him telling him what distance event I wanted to do, I was like, so I would much rather long jump and run 400 hurdles. And I just explained all my reasonings as to why I think I would be much better at that than everything else. And then I didn't hear from him for like over a week, and I was like, shit. And so then he called me, or he called me and asked if like we could do a Zoom meeting, and I'm like, okay. And I was thinking at this point, okay, like Eliza, you need to be able to explain yourself again, because I'm usually not good at doing it like face to face. Usually if I send like an email or if I'm like typing it out, it's better.
Time to think.
Yeah, and I can plan out what I'm going to say. And I really didn't have a lot of time when I didn't have a lot of time to really do that before the Zoom call. And I was like, okay, just like don't think about it too much. Just say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Just be direct. I've never been direct in my life. And so so then he emails me. He calls me, or he Zooms me, whatever, with him and the other coach. And then he was like, okay, so you want to be a sprinter? And then I said yes. And then I explained. I don't think I've ever been able to explain myself and like get straight to the point better than I did that day.
Yeah.
And it worked, because ever since then, I've been a sprinter.
I mean, when you really want something, you do what you gotta do to get it, But for you, right? You say you're not good at hurdles. What made you tell him I still want to do hurdles?
Because I wasn't that good at it in high school, but I really enjoyed it, and I felt like it was something that like I could get better at.
Yeah.
And so I told him like that's what I wanted to do. And then junior year was my first year not being involved with like the distance group at all. And so it was kind of an adjustment going from distance to sprinting. Like it definitely wasn't a walk in the park. I knew it wasn't going to be either, but like it definitely hurt. But then I ended up, for this spring season, I ended up running the 200, which I had never ran in high school before, and I loved it. And I ended up doing that and the 400, which for some reason, I don't know, I did not think I was going to be just doing the 400 flat. But then there was a couple practices where we did like this 60-second run where you just run all out for 60 seconds. And I don't know why, but I I really like enjoyed it. I don't know why. I think it was just the adrenaline, just like running, and I don't know, like I kind of just shut my brain off when I did it, and yeah, I don't know. That was like the last event I thought I would ever be.
So for track, like in high school, right? Like, you know, for football, basketball, you got film, right? You know, colleges come watch it, look at, like, you know, oh, let me see how he does this game, that game, watch film. But for track, I would imagine there's not really film for it. Like, you just run. So when it comes to getting recruited for college track, like, how does that process work? Is it like based on the times that are recorded, we think that she or he's going to be a good track athlete? That's how it goes?
Yeah, that's more so how it goes. You just look at the times or like the paces, like if they're for like the distance events.
So what was your times?
For the 400, my junior year, I kept running, like I kept consistently running a 64 like the same time. And like my goal by the end of the season was just like I need to just break a minute before I'm done. Like that was my main goal, was just like before I'm done with track or whatever, I just like that was my main thing, which is I really want to break a minute. And so last year, my senior year, that was like my whole goal was just to try to see if I could get down to at least like a 60 flat. And so I did the workouts that I did last year, like were crazy. Oh my God. It was just so painful. So it was, I still have like nightmares. Oh my God. They were, but it definitely paid off, because I know the first meet, what was it? The first meet I did during indoor, I think I ran a 64 again, and then I ran a 63, and then I ran a 64 again, and then the first meet outdoor, I ran a 63, and I was just like, there's just no way in hell that like, because it literally, by the time I ran a 63, which was literally just like 1 second faster, it literally it felt so. It just took everything out of me, and I was like thinking, damn, if it took everything out of me just to run 1 second slower, then I was just kind of thinking like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this by the end of outdoor. Like I don't know, but it also too with like track or just running in general, it's like it's really like mental, you know. So you could definitely like psych yourself out running like a faster time. And I feel like that was one of my biggest issues, was just trying not to like get in my head so much, or just be like thinking way too much, like leading up to the race. That was like my biggest battle. And then it literally was the very last meet last year that I finally ended up running a 59.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt amazing. Like I can still remember that whole race. It was weird. Like I didn't feel anything. Like the whole, like the lactic acid, everything. I didn't feel like like the adrenaline. It didn't really hit me that like I was in agony until like the last 100, and then my legs, like I felt like, you know, that dream where you're trying to run but like you can't like pick your legs up. It was like that. Like I was so sure I was not gonna make it to the finish line, because my legs just felt like they were done. And I didn't look at the time, like the whole, like as soon as I was at like the 100-meter mark, like you can like, if you look up, like you can see like how much time you're at, and I just like don't look, because that, like I knew if I looked at it, then I would just start, you know, like I would really start panicking, and then I would slow down. But I just kept going, and then afterwards I looked at the time, and I was just like, Jesus. It was crazy.
Now for you, right, like with basketball and football, those are the two most sports that I know of. But for track, like, I know for me, like if I see somebody do something crazy, like a one-handed catch, one-handed interception, just ridiculous something on the football or basketball court, football field or basketball court, like I'm like, oh, not too many people could do that. You got to be talented. So for you, like a track athlete, do you ever see any of the times and be like, there's no way as a human you should be able to like do that?
Yeah, there was a meet we had a few weeks ago, and the girls, like for the 400, they were running like 54s or 55s in the 400, and I was so happy with a 59. Like no, like I don't know. And the thing is I was watching because I was waiting to run my 400, and I'm watching them finish, and I swear I didn't see any of them, at least from where I was standing. I didn't see anybody drop or look like, they were gonna pass out, but they just ran like 54s or 55s, and I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. How are you like?
That doesn't make sense.
I don't. And I was literally like throwing up and just on the ground when I ran. Even when I was running like 64s or 63s, like I was still like, so I could barely stand. So that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the fastest time you ever seen somebody run in anything? 400, 200, 100, like a time is like well, might be Olympian.
I think it was probably the meet that I was at a few weeks ago, because that where they were running like the 55s or whatever, and I'm just like, damn.
What do you think like the average time is for that like that people get?
For a 400?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it kind of depends on like the division.
Okay.
But they were D1 that were like running the crazy times like that. But there was like a few girls I know, like and our, or like the NE10 that have ran like, and even like on my team that ran like 57s, and I'm just like, I have not, like this season I have not come close to running like the same times I ran last year.
Yeah.
I don't.
Takes a lot.
Yeah, it really, really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know, like, right, for basketball, football, you learn different things, right? Teamwork, just discipline, all that thing. What are some of the things you learn, like life lessons you learn from doing track?
Life lessons I learned from track. I have learned things. I'm just trying to think.
They could be small. They don't have to be, the big thing. Like.
For me, like, it sounds corny, but like I can do hard things. Like I know that's not a really.
No, that's
it's kind of cliche, but I don't. It's just like that. Because there were a lot of workouts where coach would tell me what the workout was, and I'd just be like, "There's no way in hell that I'm gonna be able to finish doing that," just because it just, like, on paper.
Yeah, it just sounds crazy.
It absolutely sounded crazy, but then like I started the workout, and then after like a few reps, I'm like I can do this. Like it's never I feel like it's never as hard as you make it out to be. Like it's really not.
Yeah. For you, right? Like when it comes to track, you're at AIC. How did you get to AIC? You're from Mass. Did you know about AIC before?
Yeah, I live like 15 minutes away from campus.
Do you?
So yeah.
So did you always kind of want to come to AIC?
No, because I don't, at the time before I decided I was gonna go here, I wasn't even sure like if I was gonna go to like a 4-year school or if I was gonna go to a community college. I almost went to community college, but one of the reasons why like I ended up coming here was because I still wanted to run. Like I didn't want to not be able to do track anymore, and I don't know, like I wanted like the college experience. And I still wasn't really sure what I wanted to do either, and so I kind of wanted that year to like live away, so I lived on campus the first year. And I had a pretty good experience, but as you know, AIC is not the cheapest college to attend to, so I lived on campus the first year, and then after that I just commuted.
Yeah.
But
did you get an offer?
No.
So you just came like, can I join the track team?
Yeah, I just came, and I just kind of talked to the coach, and
Were you like nervous? Like,
I was,
he gonna accept me?
I was nervous.
Yeah.
I'm always nervous.
Did you come here and then talk to the coach, or like did you talk to the coach and then come here? Like, did you know it was a possibility? Like, all right, I wanted to come here because of track, but it might be a possibility that the coach denies me. Like, did you have that?
Like I knew like I knew that was a possibility, that like he might just say no, like we can't, or we don't need anybody else, like I knew that was a possibility, but like I knew either way I knew I wanted to come here just because I had come a few times before, like I applied just to visit, and I was just like, yeah, like I definitely want to go here, and I like that it's just I like the smaller camp. Oh my god, I can't talk again. The smaller campus, like the
Yeah.
atmosphere at the time, I really liked it,
Yeah.
and so like I even regardless if I was gonna be able to run or not, I knew I wanted to come here, and
Now you were here before COVID, and I hear all the stories like, man, AIC before COVID was so great, and now it just sucks. It's terrible. Like, what was your experience before COVID with AIC?
um
You mentioned you had a great experience here before your freshman year when you lived on campus, which was before COVID. So how was the experience, the parties, the events? Was the food better? Because I heard
no
they
no
had
the food.
hibachi.
Oh yeah, they don't have hibachi anymore. I don't eat the dining commons because I don't live, so I don't know. But they don't do it anymore, like for dinner, lunch or
What do
dinner.
you mean they used to have hibachi for real?
Yeah,
What you mean by hibachi? Like, define hibachi.
like well they would cook on the
Yeah.
thing, and they used to have like steaks. Do they do like the steak sandwiches still at the?
It was Philly cheese.
Yeah, they did that, and they also did like hibachi, like they take like chicken or beef and like vegetables and do the or stir fry. I think that's what it's called, stir fry.
Who do I talk to get this back?
I don't know, but
Nah, they don't do that. I went to lunch today, and I went upstairs, and they just started cooking on the grill for lunch this year again. But when I went upstairs for lunch, the grill station, they weren't cooking. They had apple pies, gourmet apple pies
Gourmet.
with fruits and whipped cream. Don't no disrespect to the guy to do it. He do the omelets, great guy. I love him. Talk sports, but I'm sure it's not your call. I'm sure it's the higher ups, which we need to get in control of, because this is not gonna work for me.
And don't they stop breakfast at like
Like
10
not-
o'clock or
yeah.
something like that during the week? That's
Need
crazy.
At least like 10:30, 11.
No.
Because they start lunch at like 11:30, which makes sense. I always thought that was a little early, but it makes sense because that's your C hour. So that's like the
Yeah,
time
but
where
I heard they were
everybody-
stopping breakfast at like 10 because
Yeah,
some
they
people
do.
were coming out of their class to have breakfast and they had like hamburgers and hot dogs
Yeah,
before noon. That's crazy.
yeah. They start lunch at 11:30, and I don't. What aggravates me is I don't know if they. You could tell me I don't know if they was doing this before COVID, but you'll go to the DC. Say at 11. Lunch starts at 11:30. Dinner starts at 4:30. Say you go to the DC at 11:28 for lunch, or go to the DC for 4:28 for dinner. If you go there the 2 minutes before, they're gonna like literally like try to kill you for trying to take the food before then. Like, oh, it's not 4:30. Dinner starts at 4:30. Miss, it's 4:28. Like I'm here. I just can't. What's the problem?
I didn't realize they were that strict about it.
It's just food.
They
like,
were not that. I don't remember them being that strict my freshman year. My
it's
God.
just food. Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know what they got going on up there. I don't know. One guy. Should I? Yeah, it's not a shit conversation. One guy, like, he was like, yeah, I really don't care, bro. Take what you want, whatever. Like, cool dude. Like, I ain't gonna say who. If y'all ask me, if y'all see this, I don't know. But I mean, he was cool about it. But like, that's how it should be. Like, bro. So I can understand if I come in 11 o'clock. Cool.
Yeah.
But bro, it's
4:28.
Come on, man. Like,
Oh my
what's
God.
wrong? Like, I don't know. But yeah, was it really that big of a difference? Was the parties and events that much better?
I let me think. I think my freshman year, I didn't really go out to that many parties to begin with, but like freshman year, I think that was the year where I definitely did the most. And plus, I had a bigger friend group my freshman year too, and so I think that was part of the reason why like I went out more. But there definitely, I feel like there definitely was a lot more going on, especially like with student life and things like that. I feel like the events were more like, I don't know. It was just, I feel like we had a lot more going on. And COVID wasn't a thing yet either, so there was more that they could do,
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like they didn't have to really modify anything.
Yeah, everything's completely different now. Eliza, I want to talk to Matt's office. Shout out Matt. He's going to come on the show one day.
Yes, he is. Hi, Matt.
How you doing, Matt? Hopefully he watches the episode. He swore up and down he's not. Hopefully he watches. Matt, you got to come on the show. But Eliza, we was talking to Matt's office, and you had a terrible date experience.
I wouldn't say it was terrible. Have I had better? Yeah. Um, so it was, when was it? It was last Saturday. It was last Saturday.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm not on the dating apps like all the time, but sometimes, when I'm bored,
Yeah.
I'll go on it and I'll just, see who's there.
Yeah.
And I matched with this dude. I'm not going to say his name. Well, he doesn't go here, but I'm still. His name was Tyler. And
Yeah.
I matched with this dude, and at first, like, he seemed really, he wasn't mean, like it wasn't like that, like the date was bad because he was like a dick or anything. But I was like texting him back and forth, and he seemed nice, nice enough. And he talked a lot about going to the gym, which, at first I was like, oh, is he like one of those people that like tracks his food and just, those people that are like really like super, super obsessed, which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem was that he was making it his whole personality, And I'm like, is this all we're going to talk about? And then, so like I agreed to go on a date, just to see, because talking to someone over the phone, like texting and all that, it's a little different. It is, yeah. It usually is very different than when you're actually with the person, like in person. And so I met him at this brewery in Connecticut, Broadbrook Brewing, highly recommend. But anyways, so we went there, and first of all, in his profile, he said he was 6 feet tall. He was 6 foot, okay? We make that very clear, 6 foot. And I'm 5'7", and I know I'm yelling in the mic, but
no, you're good. So
I pull into the parking lot, and then, and in his pictures too, his profile pictures, it didn't give off that he was not 6 feet tall, like, and because sometimes, you can tell when like someone's lying about their height in their photos, but the angle he took his photos in, it looked like he was a tall guy.
Yeah.
And so he pulls into the parking spot next to me, and we both get out of the car at the same time, and he walks out in front of me, and I'm just like, okay, he's my height, which is fine. It's fine. But
Did
like,
you say anything to him about it? Like,
I didn't say anything to him about the height thing, because I didn't want to seem super shallow. Yeah. But like also, you're 5'7", and you said you were 6 feet tall.
Yeah, big difference, huh?
There's I don't know how he didn't think I wouldn't notice, but I was like, it's fine, like, like, don't worry. He could be a really nice guy, and maybe he just is really bad at math. He could be really bad at math. I don't know. I didn't know him well enough.
Yeah.
And so we go in, and the first thing he says is, oh, Saturday's my cheat day. Like, this is the first day of the week where I can, like, eat whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, damn, like, you're really strict. And he was like, yeah, I count my are they called macros? Is that what they're called?
Microcalories?
Yeah, micros, whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, he said something about how he's really, really, like, he's like,
conscientious about
yes, that's the word. I'm not always good with my words. But, so, yeah, so he's talking about that, and in my head, I'm like, damn, like, he really is, what's the word? Disciplined. Yeah. He's very disciplined. And so we sit down, and we're talking, and like the first like 15 minutes or so, I'm like, yeah, like he seems like a pretty nice guy. Like he seems cool, nothing, no red flags.
Between the first 15 minutes, were you thinking about giving him another date?
Yeah, I really was. Like I really was thinking, okay, like this isn't so bad. Like, and like I got past the height thing. I really did. And even though I've mentioned it like every other sentence, but anyways, so yeah, first 15 minutes or so were good, but then it seemed like after a certain point, every other sentence started with, I don't mean to sound like I'm that guy, but I'm pretty good at everything I do. And like that was like exactly what he said, and I was just like, oh, okay. and I was just kind of like sitting there like listening to him talk, and he's like, people come up to me at the gym all the time and ask me like how I look the way I do, and like how I'm able to do all my workouts. But then like he stopped again. He was like, but I'm not that guy. Like I'm not trying to sound like a big-headed dude.
Looking at the dude, right? Like in person with him, like was he that like stock to be
he was a pretty buff guy.
Okay.
But he just kind of made that his whole personality throughout like the whole date. And what else? I'm trying to think. There was a few other things. He, like when you know someone well enough to tease them about certain things, like, and you can like find an opening and just like say whatever. See, the problem was that
relationship with somebody.
Yeah. The thing was that we didn't know each other well enough. We knew each other for like a half hour.
Yeah.
And he was just, he was really forcing it, and just like with the flirting and just like putting his hands like on my leg, and I was just like, no, like you don't, like you please don't do that. We're not there. I don't think we're ever gonna get there. And he was just so like, he was trying so hard. Yeah. And one of the things he was talking about, I don't know how it came up. We were talking about snowboarding. I think he was talking about like everything he was good at and how he wasn't good at snowboarding. Yeah. And he was like, I'm good at everything I do. And then I literally stopped and I was like, you're starting to sound like that guy. And he was like, no. And I was kind of like teasing. He was like, no, I promise you I'm not. But it's just, I really am good at everything I do. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And I like my aunt texted me before the date, and she was like, hey, like I heard you're on a date. Like if you need me to come up with like an emergency, we need to come up with a code word. And I said, okay, pancakes. And I was so close to just texting her like the pancake emoji or something, because I at that point like my social battery kind of died. Yeah. And he was just saying how he was just like, oh, I just kept falling off every single time I got on the snowboard, and it was pissing me off so much. I was getting so angry. Yeah. And then he says, he was like, I felt like I was one of those special education kids. And I literally, I stopped and I looked at him and I was just like, special education kids? And he was like, yeah, like, those kids. And I'm just like, okay. And like when special education, like for that's what they call it. If you have like an IEP or 504, whatever they call it, that's what it was referred to when I was in school, was special education. Like if you struggled with math or English, I was one of those kids. I could not do math. Yeah, and I looked at him, and I was like, yo, I was one of those kids. Like I was special education. I was not good at math, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, that's what that is or something. And I'm like, oh my God. And
how old was it?
He was like, I don't know, 24. Okay, yeah. But I was just like, I could, like, that is word for word what he said. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I wanted to just get up and leave abruptly, but I couldn't, like, like that would just made it worse. And I don't know if he was the type that would have, like, flipped out or something.
You don't want to do that.
No, but I was just like, oh my God. And then he was just like, are you good at math? And I'm like, no, I just said I wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, he would just, like, not, I feel like he was, like, listening to me, but, like, not actually listening to me, you know what I mean? And he was just like, oh, I love math. I love doing math. And I'm just like, really? Like, you like doing math? And he's like, well, I'm pretty bad at it. Like, math is really hard for me, but I love to do it because I love a challenge. And I was just like,
interesting kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was just like saying how he's like, mental math, I can do that any day of the week. Yeah. I love it. And I'm just like, okay. It was just not
the best day.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. That was just, I'm not going to, I won't like say everything that like he said that was just a red flag, but yeah, it was.
Not the best one?
No.
Would you consider that like your top 3 worst dating experiences?
That was he was definitely at the top of the list.
Number 1?
Number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
It was that bad. But the thing is I wasn't nervous at all. Yeah. Because I was not attracted to him at all. Like, but he was a good looking kid, but his personality just, like there was nothing. And so because I was not nervous. my personality was at like a 10, you know,
Yeah.
because when I'm not nervous, I don't do that thing like I've done a few times like during this where I'm just like spacing out trying to think of like how to speak English.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do that at all. Like I was just, you know, like I was on a roll, everything. But it
Yeah.
was because I was not feeling it at all.
Like through text, like, did you like his personality at all? Was it a different?
It was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like he talked about the gym, but like everything else that we talked about, you know, it wasn't. I didn't get the vibe that he was, you know, like super, you know,
Weird.
big headed. Yeah. Yeah, and he was unemployed too. That was another thing that I didn't know before going on the date. And he was like, "Yeah, but I got another job lined up in a few weeks." And I'm like, "Okay."
You didn't
Like,
believe him?
I didn't buy it because when we were talking about like jobs and stuff like that, he just kept talking about all the jobs that like he quit working. Like he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I used to work at this job, but I quit. I
What
worked
was
at
the
this
most
job."
interesting job you think he said? That was like, how could you work there?
There was this job that he had at it was some summer job he had at like I think it was Plum Island. I think that's what it was.
Oh my,
I don't
what is
I don't know. I don't know if it's in Connecticut. I should know, but I think it's off coast of Connecticut. I could be wrong. I
What is
probably
Plum
am.
Island? That's like a event spot, or is it like a?
It's just like a vacation spot, and
Okay.
he said he used to work there like all summer,
Mhm.
and the way like he described it, like it did seem like a nice place to work. Like, he
Yeah.
worked like long hours, but it was like right on the beach, and he liked the people he worked with, and he had a place to stay, and it just he like that seemed like an interesting place to work.
Yeah.
But everything after that was just downhill.
Alright. You want to talk about the doctor one, the chiropractor one?
Oh my god, that one! Did I
Yeah.
show you that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me pull my phone out real quick because
That was an interesting one. That was an
yeah,
interesting
it was pretty short. It did not go anywhere, but
one. You didn't touch him back after that?
no,
Alright.
no.
For the best. For the best. You know,
Yeah,
for the
definitely for the best. Okay, where is it? Did he? Oh, I hope it didn't unmatch me. Oh, okay. So this was from Josh. Josh is 24. I matched with him about a week ago. And his first message, I did not message him first.
Okay.
He said, Dr. Cheryl Vincent. That was his first message to me. It was Dr. Cheryl Vincent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is that? And so I Googled Dr. Cheryl Vincent,
Yeah.
and Dr. Cheryl Vincent is a chiropractor
Okay. What's
out
on the back?
somewhere out in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're a little confused.
yeah. And I'm like thinking, is he like gonna ask me if I know her or something? I could not think of any reason why
Yeah.
he was asking me about her. And so I said yes.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, sorry. Was just giving you the name of the chiropractor in town for when I blow your back out. And so then I said noted. And then he just sent me the emoji. So, yeah.
Interesting kid, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So.
For you, right? Like, what exactly are you looking for? Like, you know what I mean? In a guy, for you to be like, this is a good one.
Definitely somebody who isn't obviously like someone that's not very full of himself.
Yeah.
Nice, obviously.
Yeah.
That's not a good description, but I don't know, just someone that's easy to talk to, you know, that's just like respectful.
Yeah.
Has to be funny.
Yeah.
Has to be funny. Has to have a personality. Not like I don't want to be talking to a wall.
Yeah.
Athletic.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I say that? Like,
If that's
okay.
what you want. It's all
Yeah.
about your preference.
I don't know. Like, I would prefer to go out with someone that is an athlete, just, you know, because there's just more things to have in common with them. That, you know,
Yeah.
that's all it is. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, you know, yeah, someone that, like, knows how tall they are. Um, somebody that can do math.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, like easy to talk to. That's funny. That's respectful, that doesn't make jokes about special education kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone that likes my personality.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
What are you majoring here, Eliza?
I am a
You graduated already, right?
Yeah.
You graduated with?
I graduated with a degree in psychology and a minor in criminal justice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you're a master's for psychology now, right?
Yeah, clinical mental health counseling.
How's that going for you?
Well, it's going pretty good. It's a 3-year program.
Yeah.
This semester was a pretty good semester. Last semester was I did do like very well grade wise, but it was definitely just like an
Things
adjustment.
outside of school type thing.
Things
Yeah. Outside of school.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
the first semester was definitely much more chaotic than this one. Like this semester was smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You got 1 more year left for it?
2 more years.
So are you
Yeah,
excited?
it's a 3-year program. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, because I feel like this year went by like really, really fast compared to
for
like
sure.
even like an undergrad. I feel like I'd never had a school year go by this fast.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because only taking like 3 or 4 classes a semester, so that definitely makes a difference.
What you want to do with that? You want to be like a counselor?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure where. I know I definitely wouldn't want to work in a school setting just because I did my practicum last year at a high school and elementary school because there was just like one they did like K through 12, and I know that's just not where I want to work, but probably like in a hospital. I feel like a hospital setting is like I don't know if it's like a crisis counselor or some other form of therapy. I don't know. I feel like the hospital, there's just always a lot going on. I think I get a lot of experience there.
Last question I want to ask you, I want to get you out of it because Matt probably left you already.
Yeah.
Hopefully he hasn't. I want to ask you, right, like, for you, right, just for you, it doesn't have to be you. It could be friends you talk to and they all agreed upon the same thing. But for you, like, when you, not even just when you go on a date with a guy, but when you go on a date with a guy, like, what is some of the qualities? I know you said what you would want in a guy, what you're looking for, but like, how to you should a guy act? Like, obviously, you don't want him to come lying about his age, talking about himself, but
how should a guy
like
act?
The red flags, like, all right, don't do that. Green flag, all right, yeah, that's cool. Like, what is for you? What is that for you?
What are you asking me? What a guy should and should not do?
Yeah, on a first date.
Okay.
Just for the dudes out here that's gonna watch this and like, all right, I didn't know that, man. Okay, this is how girls think.
Okay. The first thing, hold the door for them.
Okay.
It's very simple.
What does that do for a girl?
I mean, for me, I don't know if this is the case for like all women, but I don't know. It's just like, just an act of kindness.
Okay.
I don't know, just like a respect thing.
Okay.
They don't need to like open the door for me from the car. Like I know like that's a big thing. Like a lot of girls like that, but I don't know. That's not. You don't have to open the car door for me. That's okay. I can do that. But
now, some women say that's okay. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they be saying, "I want that," but
like you want them to, but you don't want to. You don't want to like have to ask them to do it. I would like if I went on a first date with a guy and he did not open the door for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it wouldn't be like a turnoff or it'd be like, I'm never going out with him again because he didn't open the car door for me. But another thing, oh my God, actually, this is huge. So I went on a date with this dude back in like October.
Yeah.
And the second date, like we went in his car. His car was so dirty. And I mean so dirty. There was spaghetti on the seat. Or not on the seat, on the floor, like where I was sitting, like in a container. And it looked like the spaghetti had been in there for days. And it smelled like somebody died in the car. I swear to God that the car was so dirty.
Yeah.
And that was like a big thing where I'm like, how do you forget the spaghetti in your car on the floor in the front seat? Spaghetti. That was one thing. Please, like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, spotless, but just, you know, if you have spaghetti on the floor, just take it out before
Yeah.
you have
Just
somebody
take
in
the
there.
garbage out type of thing.
Not just, like, for a girl, but, like, for
Yeah, for
yourself.
yourself,
Like,
yeah.
why you don't... Oh, I don't know. The fact that it did not bother him bothered me. Like,
Yeah.
just have a clean car for the
Yeah.
most part. If I'm going to go in your car, brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Just, you know, just, I don't know, like, act like you care. I don't,
Yeah.
just, you know, don't show up like you just came from the gym, like if it's a first date.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I don't know. Just things like that. It just shows that you want to make a good first impression, you know.
Yeah.
Just nothing crazy. Just, you know, take care of yourself.
Yeah. Eliza, listen. Appreciate you coming to Necessary Conversations. You know, I
Anytime.
feel like I didn't have to pull teeth to get this interview. You know, Matt, I got to pull a couple teeth.
Yeah, Matt was really worried about me doing this.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. He was like, I don't think you're actually going to do it.
Yeah, he didn't believe
And I'm
in
like,
you.
you know what?
He didn't believe in you. God
He
did.
not. Exactly.
I mean, so
Always does.
finally got it done. You know what I mean? Hope you have a good summer. Hope your trip to Austria, it's Austria, right?
Yeah.
Hope your trip to Austria is good. Budapest. I mean, you gotta have fun. It's gonna be, I've never been out of the country either, so it's gonna be fun. You nervous?
Yeah, I'm more nervous about the flight. It'd be
Yeah,
like,
how long is the flight?
well, it's 7.5 hours to Copenhagen because I have an 11-hour layover.
Whoa. By layover, wait, hold on. So it's 7.5 hours to get to,
Denmark.
but then it's 11.5 hour wait for your
Oh,
next
wait.
flight?
So, yeah, 7.5 hours from Boston to Copenhagen, Denmark. And when I get there, I have an 11-hour layover. So I'm just going to be in the airport for 11 hours until my flight to Vienna, which is at like 5:20 or I think it's 5:40 p.m. is what time the plane leaves from Copenhagen to Vienna, which is like an hour and a half flight. But once I get to Denmark, it's going to be 11 hours hanging out there before my actual...
What the hell are you gonna do in 11 hours?
I don't know, but I can leave the airport and walk
your
around.
Bags? Where are you gonna put your bag?
I have my check bag. That's the plane people. Is that what they're called? The plane people. They're gonna move. They'll put all
They'll
the
just
luggage
move
onto
it
the other plane.
themselves onto the other
Yeah, I
plane?
don't have to do anything. I just
Okay.
have to keep my carry-on and all that
Okay.
stuff with me.
Jeez,
For-
11-hour layover.
Yeah, but at least like Denmark,
So it's gonna
Copenhagen
be
looks
something
fun.
To do. It might
Oh
be
God,
like,
yeah.
You know,
There's
a little news
I just can't.
environment.
Yeah, I can get lunch or I can get breakfast and lunch
Yeah.
because I land at like the ass crack of dawn.
You're gonna be able to try some new foods. And
Yeah.
things like that. Should be fun. 11 hours. God damn.
Yeah. I know.
Listen, Eliza Mullins, right? Eliza Mullins, I appreciate you coming on. Necessary Conversations.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great summer, you know.
Thank
and
you.
Next year probably go by a little faster.
Yeah.
And next semester we'll get Matt on the podcast
Oh yeah, we will.
for sure. Thank you for coming to Necessary Conversations. I'm your
Thank
host,
you.
Saleem Messiah, and we are out.